Hello, I see red numbers. Okay. Hello, so this is a thing we're going to be trying. It's inspired a little bit by the Comic Strip AP done by the Gauntlet Podcasts and the Gauntlet community, where they have one-on-one sessions between GM and player lasting about 15 minutes apiece and post those up over time. I'm probably not going to get down as low as 15 minutes. In any case, today what we're going to be focusing on is making a character or two. And for the player that's playing with me, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Hello, it's Brandon. I'm honestly not too sure what I'm going to be playing just yet.
Okay. So let's go ahead and start with character one and opening it up. Oh, you had the heart surgery idea. We've talked a little bit about this before.
Yeah, I had some kind of idea of heart surgery being a element of the character as a defining event. I quite like that. I also want to do a personality as a second logos. The thing is, I just can't get a mythos for this that sounds interesting to me.
Well, one of the things that we have going for it is that we're going to leave the mythos for later. We're starting off with you as a sleeper.
Oh, that's a good point.
Um, though there is a lot of things like there are a lot of heart replacement myths in stories. I mean, you could go with the whole lich route or certain witch and demon stories.
Yeah, I'd be more inclined to go towards witch or demon or something of that ilk. Not so keen on rotting corpses shambling about.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Um, I think Slavic myth has a lot of that. Plus, this is City of Mist. We're not limited to mythology, so.
Hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah, unfortunately, doing a Google search for myths about organ replacement comes with a lot of like actual medical stuff rather than.
Yeah, probably would have to go check TV tropes for that. But I think first, I believe we decided we wanted an anachronistic stew type city, right?
Yep.
Um, or as some people have put it when I've described it to others as, oh, Batman, Gotham City Batman animated series.
Yep. Possibly with a bit more cyberpunk.
Yeah, yeah, because at the time it was made in the '90s, it didn't have as much tech as we do now. So
Yeah.
because at the time it was kind of '50s, '80s styling with '90s, early thousands tech,
Yeah, and a healthy dose of Tim Burton.
or at least Danny Elfman.
Mm.
Uh, Always add the Danny Elfman music; it's great stuff. Okay. Per usual, we are not naming the city. Uh, it's just the city. What part of the city do you live in? What was the if you could name one of the districts from the City of Mist book?
Oh, Old Town.
Oh,
I love the feel of Old Town.
oh, a little bit rich, a little bit ancient. Yeah.
Yeah, and lots of creepy stuff and dark alleys and Victorian set. Well, Victorian stylings.
Okay. Does she have the money expected of someone who lives in Old Town?
Possibly, I'm not too sure. I mean, that would suggest to me a possession, um,
If it's not
which
a
isn't the worst idea.
yeah, if it's not a major part of the character, it doesn't.
It would be better. Actually, I kind of like the idea of playing a occult hobbyist.
Okay. And I'm going to be playing a roommate as a sort of side character. My character is going to be nowhere near as proactive as yours. Yours is the one that's going to drag her into adventures. Okay. What are you said Victorian stylings, creepiness?
Oh yes, a little bit. Well, I'm kind of referring to the styling of things such as From Hell or what's it called? Like the mage type Harry Potter. Well, the mage areas in Harry Potter. You know, that very
The magical communities.
yeah. That kind of harken back to like you know, Sherlock Holmes and those sorts of things.
So yeah, the more Western Northern European type old occult rather than say like New Orleans voodoo type stuff. Okay.
Indeed. Sorry, I am currently doing a TV tropes, a slight TV tropes dive for. Well, I'm currently in the medical horror section because of the looking for references to Mythos that I could possibly ping. Of course, that's not as important at the moment as.
That's fine. But let me go ahead and ask you some questions about the defining event while we're waiting here, and maybe something that will come up because those have set questions, and maybe something will come up for the personality here in a moment. And the first line is what? First question is what kind of strong emotion did your defining event leave you with?
Ooh. Well, I'd say like it's specifically heart surgery because that's the most dangerous one I could think of.
I mean, there have been people that have talked about head replacement surgeries in recent years, but I don't think that's a regular thing yet.
Oh, I doubt it. Also, it's very much it's very symbolic as well. I think the defining emotion, I'm kind of seeing a character that came close to death, then was brought back by medicine because obviously someone else lost their lives. I mean, this is a pretty standard trope. You know, they are continuing to live at the good grace of somebody who donated their bodies after they passed away.
So that sounds like something along the lines of gratitude.
Yeah, gratitude, a sense of responsibility, possibly what's the, I'm not sure what the emotion I'm going for is, but it's like you have a sense of you've almost lost everything, but now you've got the second chance and you're not going to waste it. Renewed zest for life is probably the concept I'm going for there.
That's probably a good power tag then. New zest for life.
I like it. Is there a... actually, I should probably open the book.
Oh, you weren't in yet, so I might not have been able to give you access. Give me a moment.
No, it's okay. I have my own copy.
Okay, and you should have access to the character sheet.
I do. I am looking at it right now.
Got it. Okay. I unfortunately cannot pop out the character sheet from the thing because I'm recording.
That's okay. So at the moment, the defining event tab just says heart surgery. I'm about to take a look at the Logos things, and
It's on page 145.
thank you very much. Defining event. Oh, right. What kind of strong emotion did your defining event leave you with? Yeah, zest for life. That answers that really well.
And now I'm really glad you have your copy of the book open, so I don't have to read out all 9 of the other questions.
Yes. Question B might be interesting for this one. What part of your old self, while deeply changed, still serves you?
That does bring the question of what exactly your old self was.
I'm going for possessions. I was considering a musician or something like that, but I'm not quite feeling that for this character, I think. Someone perhaps with a bit more time on their hands and, not much to do it with sounds interesting.
So idle rich person.
Yeah. Which could tie into it, the bored, jaded, idle rich person coming into, like, having this big shock and then being like, I need to do something with my life.
Oh, yeah, she was jaded and bored before, but now everything's wonderful and amazing. Because the zest for life.
Actually, some of these examples are pretty good. Youthful curiosity and inherited fortune. I'd probably be more inclined towards youthful curiosity or something of that ilk rather than inherited fortune, because it's hard to do stuff with inherited fortune.
Yeah, we've run across that in the game.
Previous game, yeah.
Hopefully it stays a constant game. We'll have to see scheduling issues. But that's a different game. Let's see. Yeah, youthful curiosity is pretty good. By the way, you could totally do an element of musician stuff, that she has a musical skill, because that's a lot of that social strata does learn music and then stops doing stuff with it.
this is a good point. It could be that the wealth comes from like a classical music background. That actually, this would be a good way of having that in without having a training theme.
Or without it with it have it be a flavor without it being a major thing which you don't want to focus.
Indeed. Let's see. My brain is going to something that alliterates with virtuoso.
For the old self?
Yep.
I want to say, for some reason I want to say vicarious virtuoso, but I don't know if that's the idea you want.
Let's see.
There has to be a tool online somewhere about alliteration words.
Vicarious would imply being a virtuoso through someone else.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it, but that's why I don't think it's going to be a good one.
Let's see. Vehement, vital.
Vital folds into the zest for life, but then we have a lot of doubling up, which means it's very powerful in certain circumstances.
Maybe rather than an instrument, we've done a lot of characters with singing as a theme.
Valiant virtuoso? No.
Maybe come back to that one. I will think on it.
Okay. So we're going to hold off on that question, put a filler for B. And then for C, or not C, we don't know which of the other 8 questions you want to answer.
Yeah, just looking at that now. All right. I doubt that I would get a mundane but useful object from heart surgery. I wouldn't have had an authority invested in me because of it. I could bond or connect with someone in the aftermath. Skill or mundane ability did you pick up? Knowledge did you gain access to? Approach to life is relevant, but we've kind of done that with A.
Yeah, there's a lot of doubling up in here. I mean, you can see a little bit of that because, like, on the examples, you can tell that in the order, these are all the same character. These are a set of, like, the Filled with Rage, X-Celebrity, Helix Labs Access Card, Leader of a No. This one is one of the ones where the different examples aren't all the same people. Usually when I look at them and I look through, I can see that they're all dealing with the same type of character, or the same set of characters, that just without telling you.
Indeed. I think the most interesting one, at least to me, would be what physical change or improvement stemmed from your defining event? because that can be something really weird.
Indeed, indeed. Could be that your new heart is much stronger than it should be.
Yeah.
Amazing endurance or something like that. Strong heart.
Just doing a little bit of research here on
No problem.
sayings to see if I can get an idea. Sayings related to the heart.
Shot through the heart. Let's see. Unfortunately, looking up Proverbs heart gives me a lot of Bible quotes, which I guess isn't that terrible.
Yeah, the ones I'm looking at are mostly metaphorical, like very metaphorical. Like, I mean, the heart's memory eliminates the bad, magnifies the good.
Yep.
Except in certain cases.
Yeah, it depends on what you're. Yeah. As water reflects the face, so one's life reflects the heart.
Oh, dear.
Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Here we go. List of expressions with the word heart.
A woman's heart is a deep ocean of secrets.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Heart in the right place.
Oh.
Have your heart in the right place, but it's heart in the right place. It just is. So...
Okay, I have to make that the tag.
Okay.
Would it be heart in the right place or just in the right place?
I think since it does say heart surgery, so it would kind of be assumed, but I think heart in the right place sounds like a good one. And it has such a double meaning.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Okay. On to personality. Okay. What are you like? I am. It's page 157. There's the concept questions right at the beginning. We can ask.
What I really like about the personality theme book is that there is an upgrade that lets you, when it when it cracks, it lets you turn it into another personality, which is really my jam.
That is pretty cool. I do like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, reinvent myself. I
Mm-hmm.
don't become another myth. I don't become more mystical. I just become a different personality. Um,
Let's see.
how about vexed virtuoso? If you were always kind of, because that kind of goes with jaded a little bit. Because if you're vexed, you're kind of annoyed.
Yeah, actually, that works really well. I know it's added alliterative appeal, but
Hey, this is noir superheroes. Alliterative appeal is a thing.
very true. Alright, what do I... So we've got a character who has found a renewed sense of life and self after a really bad scare.
Let's see. So we know you're going to be dragging around my character into stories because my character is going to be very resistant to getting because I'm going to be the GM.
Right. What? I'm sorry. What sort of character? Do you have an idea of what sort of character you're?
I'm playing a human interest reporter
Oh, cool.
who's not particularly interested in being, winning a Pulitzer or anything. She's perfectly happy covering the fundraisers or the local flower thing or whatever. Just perfectly happy with that.
Oh, I like it. Oh man, I kind of want to play your intern, like your more enthusiastic intern or something.
She went and made herself an intern after getting the heart surgery.
Or possibly just keeps getting involved in your characters' stories and things like that because
That's a good. That's. I think we mentioned the idea of them being roommates, but if they're just you're always getting involved in the story and say, and I'm the only reporter you know, so here, come and record this for me.
uh,
But yeah, whichever way works.
yeah.
Let's see.
Okay, so what I'm getting is the idea of a board type that hasn't, well, that needs things to do. Is looking for things to do, has an innate curiosity.
Can't sit still type thing.
Yeah, can't sit still is probably a nice one for this. Of course, it will change radically as the game progresses. Yeah, I like that. Can't sit still is good.
Okay. So I'm just filling in some titles on the character 2 real quick. Yep. Gotta expand this out, otherwise it's really hard. can't sit still for a personality. Back to the personality thing on 157.
Yep. Sorry.
No,
I'm
no,
looking at
no.
I'm looking at the identity and the concept at the moment. I think identity would be something like bored and curious don't mix.
Bored and curious don't mix. That almost sounds like a weakness. But yeah, no, that works as an identity because it's a statement of your personality.
I've gone boredom and curiosity don't mix. Let's see, the concept. Other people find me nosy.
That does seem like a good one.
What lies at the core of your personality? Insatiable curiosity.
That seems an easy one to answer there. So that's question A right off the bat. I love the questions. There's so many, so if one doesn't really pique you, you can just go to a different one. And usually you can find 3 that pique your interest.
Oh yes. What is the first? Just looking at the other questions.
What special skill or status did you pursue because of your personality? How do you strive to improve yourself? That's another good general one of personality questions.
I'm also liking what aspect of your personality keeps you safe or helps you resist influence.
That is a good one.
I'm going to answer that one with acid off a duck's back.
Now, if that isn't evocative, I don't know what is.
Yeah. Reference to the Far Side comics.
Awesome.
It's one with there's a bunch of scientists crossing or like with a duck on a table, and the blackboard in the background says water off a duck's back, and then it's ticked off, and then the next one's acid off a duck's back, and it's got a cross next to it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, Gary Larson. How do you strive to improve yourself? I need to know.
That is a good one.
Does that ping insatiable curiosity though?
It does a little, but it actually is sort of the same thing in a different statement. You could also put it as a weakness, because then it can
yeah, that is actually a better weakness. I think I'll put that in as well.
Which we didn't do the weakness for the first one.
No, we'll get back to that. we also hadn't done one of the power tags, which is why I think I moved on.
Right. Well, we
We've
went
done that
back.
now.
We went back and did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Strive to improve yourself.
always learning.
Also pings insatiable curiosity a bit.
Read lots of books.
Yes, I was thinking of something like occult trivia.
Well, as how do you strive is a active thing. So how about consuming
Oh.
occult trivia?
This is true. It could also be what typically interests you.
This is true. Yeah. Which occult trivia? I mean, that basically the difference between I and J seems to be whether you're wanting to do it as a verb or a noun.
Yeah. So I'm going with occult trivia there. I think that's an interesting and kind of useful quirk that doesn't seem useful to normal people.
Did you know about the back in the day when they were establishing the Hermeticus Trimegistris? Yada yada yada.
Indeed. Weakness tag questions for defining event. Oh wow, some of these are really good for this character.
What emotional scar or baggage did your defining event leave you with?
Who or what is haunting you because of your defining event?
Oh my goodness, that is such a big one.
Also, what is now broken within you physically or mentally due to your defining event? I mean, the defining event improved something, so...
Yeah, you might have to continually take rejection drugs.
This is true.
But also,
I like...
go on.
I like something like the donor's ghost as a who or what is haunting you, because it's not necessarily an actual ghost, although it could be.
Dreams of your savior.
Yeah, that could be pretty good. Dreams of my savior. I like it.
Which brings us to possessions.
Indeed.
Okay. What do I keep or carry in my possession? If we want to hit the music thing again, it could be a musical instrument. We could hit the occult thing and have it be some mystical gewgaws.
Okay, I'm kind of getting an idea that this character actually has like a boutique antique store or something.
Oh, that works out fine, especially since a lot of those in these kind of cities have their apartments above or below those.
Yeah, and it could be that my character has this place and had an extra room and rents it out to your character.
That works out wonderfully. I was sort of thinking along the same lines. So, antique store or boutique store?
Yeah, just trying to think of a cool name for an antique store.
Unfortunately, I already used the melted candlestick, which I stole from somewhere else.
You did.
Needful things?
I don't want Lucifer as a mythos. Well, depending on which Lucifer you're talking about, not that one.
Yeah. Or whatever that entity was.
Yeah, I don't want to get my ass kicked by Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Mythology in King's universe treads all sorts of lines.
Oh, yes.
Uh,
Let's see. The Silver Circle.
Oh, that's nice, especially it has vague Lovecraftian implications. Since the
I'm going to say this. Sorry.
Because the Silver Lodge is a big thing in Lovecraft's stories, right?
So I'm going to say the Silver Circle, and actually no, the title is the Silver Circle.
Right. So the identity, the antique shop description of the antique shop would probably be the concept. The identity would be a statement about yourself in relation to that. So usually I something or other. Boredom and curiosity don't mix is a good one too.
Yeah. Oh, that's the concept. All right, so the concept has questions here. It's all about one item. The blank doesn't really fit. Can you reword these?
Yeah. These are just suggestions.
Oh, cool.
These are thought questions provoking you to thinking things.
Okay, so I'm going to say
Meanwhile, I'm going to go behindthename.com and hit random names until I find one I like.
Concept is my antique store and the collection therein.
Cool. Very Friday the 13th.
Indeed. Identity.
I want to learn all the stories. The identity doesn't have so much of a mechanical effect. It's what I use to judge as to whether there's a conflict or not. which is, the personality one on boredom and curiosity don't mix, is a little bit difficult. But I can see where it is, because if you do something that doesn't satisfy your curiosity, then that would be a crack. But the identities are basically your benchmarks for how you determine whether crack or fade happens.
Yes. Ancient things for trade.
Ancient things for trade would again be more titled, because this is a statement of belief.
Indeed.
Let's see.
Sorry, at the moment, I've got something about curiosities collected that I can't sort of hammer into something.
That's a belief.
Sorry, what was your first suggestion?
I want to know all the stories. Okay. So now that I rolled up a name that sounds interesting, I'm going to have to look at it and see what its culture is. First one is in Hindu. A mix of Hindu and Korean. That's bizarre. I mean, not totally, they're at least on the right hemisphere. I really should have recognized when I saw Yi, but usually when you're in Korea, you hear it as Lee. I think that's the same. A lot of surnames in Korea have multiple pronunciations. Seems like.
Or I acquire the strange and unusual.
Oh, that is glorious. That is a good. Yeah, that is a good statement of identity.
All right, habitat. What is the most important thing in your possession? Should I just repeat the silver circle?
I think,
Or do I go for the collection or something specific in the collection?
that is a good question. It depends. What do we want to give the most narrative weight to? The store or something in the store? Like in Warehouse, if it was like to go to look at other collection things, Warehouse 13, it was the warehouse was the most important thing. In Friday the 13th, it would have been the vault in the basement where they kept all the cursed items. I don't know what it would be for if there would be a specific one for. I think there's probably collection things where the main thing is like a ledger or a list, but it would depend on what you want to give the most narrative weight.
Yeah. I'm kind of imagining that the pride of my character's collection is an ancient book, like Necronomicon-y.
Oof.
Actually, let's say I'd like to come up with one as a collection of like the whole collection. I noticed one of the possibles, one of the examples, is a warehouse full of junk.
Yeah, what that means is when you're doing change the game or the montage stuff, you can go by your store and start looking through and find some little piddly relic that hasn't awakened yet, or something that has some sort of related power that isn't very major or isn't a full mythos itself, but in your hands, because of your whatever strange specialness, it does something weird. I mean, until your mythos awakes, it won't be obviously weird. It'll be that kind of magical thinking type stuff. It's like, see, I told you that Lucky Charm would do the trick, and it could have been something that completely explained some other way. But that's sleepers.
Indeed.
Why does this monkey's paws? Why does this monkey paw have its fingers curled in? It's good to be sharing things with people who also read old stories.
Oh yes. I'm thinking plethora of arcane curios.
There is a link from one of our viewers in the Discord chat about a random arcane book generator that you might want to look at later.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit that one up later.
Okay.
Alright, other power tag questions and a weakness tag. What component or attachment added to one of your items can change or improve its function? Sorry, I can't remember the name for it now, dang it. Where you add a part to your house. Extension.
Yeah, extension. There we go. Yeah. I should have known that right. Well, I didn't know precisely what you were talking about until you say add on to the house. I watched so many home and garden, home improvement things with my mom. I should have known that.
Oh yeah. Huh. Question J. What item completes a set with your other power tags? That's a strange one.
Well, that's like if you had, like you hear it says magnifying glass, police badge, and standard issue pistol. This one, possessions thing is designed a little bit around set building.
Yeah.
What helps you conceal your possessions or the fact you're using them?
Yeah, that could be pretty good. Though if it's something like a
We can't do out and out supernatural nonsense yet.
yeah, this is true.
I
I
mean,
mean, unless my character doesn't actually know that that's what's helping.
strange luck, subtle fortunes, stuff like that. What useful quality do your possessions have? One of a kind.
I'm not sure whether it would. I'm going to sort of riff off one that you just said. I'm thinking weird fortunes as either helps conceal or keeps possession safe.
Either or works. I think helping can actually help either one, but I think keep your possession safe because that goes in with the fact that you might not be completely aware of what it's doing.
Yeah.
This theme could easily morph into a relic.
True. Particularly if the place ever gets burned down during one of the stories or something.
Yep. It would only get burned down if the theme cracked and we decided it was going to burn down instead of becoming a magical place or something.
True. Oh, that's a good point. I could also eventually take it as a theme.
Yeah, there's base of operations themes that you can pick up.
Yeah, there we go. That's probably what will happen.
Which you can tie them in to other themes you already have. So you could have 2 themes for the same thing.
Oh yes.
one more question. Do you want to do weaknesses and then come back to the other power tag?
Yeah, I think so. I can't pick one off the top of my head right now, so let's change tack and.
As a side thing, we might come back and do a mundane thing like regular business in meaningless trinkets.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Anyway, weaknesses. There are 4 weakness questions.
Yep.
And for those of you who don't know City of Mists, weaknesses are a benefit in this game. Yeah, they cause bad things to happen, but they also help you advance. So having more weaknesses helps you advance better. That's why they're an advancement option. Granted, another advancement option is to get rid of them if you've decided that it's not fun. Okay.
What bad habits or traits your possessions or traits related to your possessions do you display? I can't let go.
Yeah, I was about to say, it sounded like you're getting some hoarding, a little bit of a hoarder instinct.
Oh, yes.
Is your living part of the store just like mountains and mountains of old books and scrolls or trinkets?
Okay, something mundane for the power tag.
Something that allows it to stay in business. Granted, City of Mist, the mist will pretty much keep it in business until it's served its purpose, but...
Yes, which might be a part of the weird fortunes thing.
Yeah.
How do you handle, fix, or take care of your possessions? I think with antiques, that's very relevant. But how do we word something like restoration kit?
You could just do it as an expert in restoration or something like that.
I like it. Expert in restoration.
Do you have a name for your character?
Yeah, let me... just go to my favorite behind the name random generator.
Oh, behind the name is such a wonderful site. I mean, it's really overwhelmingly European names, but it has more variety than any other name generator. Though Xanathar now has like the Egyptian names and other such stuff that you don't generally find in places like the Aztec names too. I noticed that when I was doing a theoretical Egyptian scion the other night. Is like I realized that Egyptian names like out of old Egypt would probably not have gone away since the Neter are actively worshipped still.
Wick. Gets a little too close to John Wick. Royal Cock.
Oh dear, what was that name?
Royal Cock.
Oh dear, that is fantastic.
That is unfortunate, yes. Ooh. Vincent Chase?
Oh, are you? What is your character's gender, Brandon?
Well, you know me. Start out as physically male.
Okay, right. Okay.
Which leaves me with Logos, who I am in my everyday life in the city. Nosy antique dealer.
At one point in time, you were a rising star in classical music, but now, yeah, nosy antique dealer. And the mythos we haven't identified yet.
No, not yet. Do sleepers get the extra tags and weakness?
Do you want to save that till we open up the mythos? Because I don't think, because the sleeper stuff is not he's really well defined. I think they might.
I am very happy to leave that until we open up the mythos because, that's kind of the fun part.
Yeah, and you could pile them both onto the mythos to make the mythos have a little bit extra weight. Let's see.
Do we want to talk about the crew thing?
Let's wait till let's get my thing, because I think the crew theme is going to be something along the lines of Vincent's Adventures, or Vincent and Sidekick, or something along that line.
Cool. So I'm seeing Indira Yi.
That would be the character I was playing around with.
So what you've got routine, the Metro beat, very nice. Mission, give the little stories their place. And personality, comfort in the familiar. I'm perfectly fine treading old ground.
Yep.
Cool. Which do you want to start with? Because I'll take a look at the question.
Let's see. Let's do an alphabetical, since that way we can go through the book in easy order. And we'll start with mission.
All right. What is your goal as a concept?
I think even fifth graders want their story told.
Nice.
Okay. I think a lot of her is going to be that she doesn't really want to be interested as much as she is in the adventure stuff. Sort of, the Bilbo Baggins, where once you threw him into it, he thrived, but it took a lot to get him there.
Oh, yes. Do you mind if I just go grab a drink?
No, go ahead.
Be right back. Sorry, throat's still acting up a little bit.
No problem. As a side note, I got the list of 3 from the journalist example thing that's in the book, where they have the 24 some odd example themes that you can do for each logos and mythos.
Ooh, nice.
And the one for journalists was routine, personality, and mission. Okay.
Makes sense.
Okay. And her concept is she is a human interest reporter.
Hmm. I must slash I swore to blank. Following blank, I decided I will never stop blank. Sorry. We're doing something different.
I think I got past that.
Yeah. Alright. Power tag questions. The one you have to answer is A. What do you need most in order to carry out your mission?
I think I need to knowing how to smile.
Interesting.
Okay. And I know you don't mark the letters. I do this so when advancement comes, I know which ones I've done already. Let's see. What were you forced to learn while on your mission? Who is helping you on your mission? What knowledge do you have about the target or goal of your mission? What sort of tactics or methods do you employ to reach your goal? I don't think that her mission is exactly the kind that these questions were designed for, but it's really amusing.
Yeah, it's very hard to sort of ram this into the hard-bitten investigator.
Who is helping you on your mission? Let's see. Who is helping? A very lenient editor.
Awesome.
My sister is for some reason feeling insulted because she is a newspaper editor.
Yes.
I'm not talking about her as lenient though. From what I understand, she's very scary. Because I grew up with her, I know she's very scary.
Well, yeah, she's also an editor. I wanted to just suggest, what useful position or status did you have to learn for the mission to succeed? Something to do with a press pass might be a good one there.
Oh, that is a good one. Yeah, it is a press pass.
I know you might not believe it. I also have my driver's license, so please don't card me.
It is a real press pass. Okay. What are the side effects, burdens pursuing the mission? What are the weak points or wild cards in your plan? What approach or psychological disposition will get in the way of your endeavors? Why have you not succeeded so far? I think the side effects or burdens of pursuing the mission is no one takes human interests seriously.
Well, I'm just kind of trying to imagine being stuck as the reporter that only gets the, like, there were whales sighted off the coast.
Oh no, it's a common trope, and I imagine it really bugs them. But it's a common trope in stories. I'm leaning into the idea that she's not really unhappy with that position.
You know, I hate to suggest something like a darker sort of note to this particular theme.
Oh?
Agent of the Mists.
There is a playable package for playing one of the people that do the mind melty stuff.
Hmm. Anyway,
I don't know about Agent of the Mist. It would make it hard to go into the Mythos.
I understand. This is a lighter character. I was just
Yeah.
saying.
Oh, knowing me, my comedy will bleed fairly soon enough. Okay.
So personality?
Personality. Let's see here.
So you've got an identity there.
A lot of her concepts and personalities are folding into each other, which might be problematic. But then again, I'm not focused. If my character's not focused, I'm sort of helper. Let's see. Concept.
So concept. What are you like?
Comfortable in. Well, actually, I already have comfortable and familiar as the title, so saying it again is kind of redundant. Resistant to taking risks. Curious but resistant to adventure. I was originally going to call it adventure in denial, but I decided that that's kind of already the case where you're a sleeper.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of going for the sleeper that doesn't want to be asleep. You're going for the sleeper who wants to be asleep but is not going to stay that way.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Hey, what lies at the core of your personality?
Feeling of desire for safety.
Interesting.
You know, the knowing how to smile thing, that's kind of something that I just take for granted, but it does say a lot about a person when you refer to smiling as knowing how to smile. It does say she's not really happy. Okay.
I'm going to go back and put in the letters of the questions that I answered later.
Oh, thank you.
That way,
Amy.
yeah, that'll help.
It's just, you go back later and you start doing the whole thing, and it's like, which question was this?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So, personality. What is the first thing people notice about you? Probably a pretty face.
Oh dear.
It would depend if she's newspaper or news or television or radio. Do you have a preference for which kind of media she would be?
Human interest stories. I mean, I immediately go to local papers. If we wanted to do a city that's a little more cyberpunky, online.
Oh yeah, she could do a web zine. Okay. Streaming service or kind of TV. But yeah. Okay. But yeah, pretty face would be the thing then. Actually, I'm going to say a friendly exotic face. That's really specific, but she's a mix of Indian and Korean apparently, so that'd be kind of interesting. Okay. Local radios are very active in America, by the way.
Oh, yes. All right. Got a whole bunch of other questions. What's your poison?
Yeah, I think a better interpersonal skills is useful. These are all really good. What aspect of your personality keeps you safe, resists influence? What quality or item best expresses your personal style or enhances it? What useful habit or routine have you cultivated thanks to your personality? What typically interests you? We went over these with your character. I think I'm going to go with C. I'm just going to do ABC, which is unusual for me, and do a friendly interviewer. For an interpersonal skill she has developed.
Cool.
Which comes to weakness. What happens when you're pushed to the corner? What sort of people or conditions make your personality less effective? No good in a fight for C.
Awesome.
He is not a fighting person.
Oh no.
Okay. Now the Metro beat and gives the little stories. Give the little stories their. What is the whole thing?
Place.
That's what I thought. Okay, thank you. Are kind of the same thing, but slightly different. Give Little Stories is her motivation, and Metro Beat is her assignment with the website. Let's see.
Yes.
Do they call it the Metro Beat in Australia?
Oh, probably, or something very similar.
In America, it refers to all the side interest stuff that goes on with the newspapers.
Indeed.
And it's a very, I don't know the equivalent term for it for TV or radio because my sister is newspaper, not those. And that's where my knowledge of journalism comes through. Okay.
Alright. So, but it is a bit different to your mission because your mission is why you do it. The routine is your attachment to the place and your identity that comes from the place.
It is your attachment to the job. Okay. Okay, so identity is I do the jobs nobody's interested in.
Sounds good to me. One of the great things I find with your character when you combine it with mine is that this is exactly the character somebody sent to check out the alligators in the sewers.
Indeed. Yeah, because it's like, we've got rumors of alligators in the sewers. Let's send her to go report on it because it's not serious and it'll just be a silly thing that'll get ratings and people will laugh about it. And then that's the reporter who in every episode is having to dodge for their life.
Yep.
Okay.
Concept. What routine activity takes up most of your time?
Ooh. Okay. Basically talking to inane people, I don't want to call people inane, but
I hate to say this, but there are serious journalists. I think your character is a silly journalist.
yeah, this is definitely the case. She is there. She is not interested in chasing the big story, not interested in bringing the truth. She's interested in talking about cake bake-offs and such like that. Or she may be, but isn't yet brave enough to go for those big things.
Yes, if the City of Mist hadn't happened, she would probably end up being one of those very safe journalists that interview politicians that give out all of the questions beforehand.
Yep. Okay. She's sort of like Margot from Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, a bit, except Margot wanted to break out of that mold.
This is true. Okay. What do you do with your time? So she is a reporter for the... What would be the website name? The Daily Download?
Hey, Kitty suggested the Daily Derp. I quite like the Daily Download. It has added alliterative appeal.
So it's just Daily Derp. But yeah, I prefer Daily Download because I think if the website does have actual reporters in the mix, they'll want a more serious name.
Oh yes.
I could definitely see her being called the Daily Derp out of the Daily Download. The person who makes the references to Florida Man stories.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what privileges come with the territory? What sort of tools do you use? Who usually helps you? What did you lean on? What did you learn on your daily activities? Specific activity, trick you have picked up doing what you do. Where do you carry out your routine? Where do you go to escape it? What brings you to the same place every day? I end up reading them all anyway. What brings you to the same place every time?
It's an evocative question.
It's also J, so the organizer in me is going to put it at the bottom.
Oh yes.
Filling the hours. You're talking, like I told you, the bleeding would come to my humor soon enough. In amidst all the silliness, I have knowing how to smile and filling the hours among defining aspects of my character. Okay.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, so now another one, somewhere between B and I. What sort of tools do you use? Instead of having a cameraman, what if she has a camera drone if we're going for a little bit more cyberpunk? because she doesn't rate her own cameraman, she has to make do with a drone. It probably looks like something very friendly and cute because she's the human interest person.
Awesome.
What was that?
I just said awesome. Personal camera drone.
Yep, and that comes to weakness tag. At the end of your day, what are you left with? Who or what can interfere with your routine?
Yeah, that's me. Actually, C would be really great if... Yeah, there you go. Unwelcome adventure.
I could put it as you as well, but this is more general.
It's amazing.
Okay, which we go to doing the bits where we talk about how our characters are linked. We talked about it a little bit, but let's start with you and then go back and forth.
Yep. Is there something in the book I can reference that you're looking at, or are we just...
We're going. It's at the beginning. It's over at the crew relationship section in the thing for defining events, which I'm looking for. It's on page 146, bottom right. Each one of the themes has its own 3.
Oh, cool. One of them was present in your defining event. What was their part in it? Take a help or put point on accordingly. Oh, that's right. I asked you one of each tonight.
You asked me one from each thing. So this is the other reason why I'm doing a character, is because this way we get to use the help herd function.
Also, like, I completely trust you to run a GM PC, so...
Thank you.
Okay.
She is a human interest story, and you are kind of an ex-celebrity that got a heart transplant.
Mm-hmm. Alright, in the aftermath of my defining event, you were there to help me pick up my life without judging or asking questions. Oh, that's not a question, that just is a statement.
Yeah, that... Let me see if each of them has something that's like that.
I'm going to go instead with one of them is trying to help you or make you get over your defining event and move on. If you're... Oh.
That's, again, another statement.
Yeah. Alright, to rephrase it then...
Yeah, that's perfect.
Oh, well, the question is, one of them was present in your defining event. What was their part in it? Which is interesting, but I'm not sure I see...
Could have given you an interview after the fact. I mean, I probably wasn't there for the actual surgery. But...
That could work. I mean, obviously after that, you rented the apartment or the room or whatever.
Well, so one of them is one of them is trying to help you get over your defining event. How are they doing it?
That would be a much better question, yes.
Yeah. So I think that well, you may have that Indira went and applied for the room you had for rent because she feels you're too erratic since your heart surgery. You need some way to keep you anchored to the ground, and she had no idea where she was going for something.
Oh, that's interesting. So then the ball's in my court. Do I resent that, or do I whatever the opposite of resenting that would be?
Appreciate.
Thank you, everyone. I'm going to call it appreciation because new outlook on life, etc. Trying not to drag things down.
Appreciation.
Indeed. So that's a help.
Indeed. And then going to me, my next one will be mission. One of them, that's on page 154, so you can see it. One of them is of great importance to your cause. One of them has aided you in your efforts and earned you earnest gratitude and respect. One of them thinks your mission is doomed to fail or must never be allowed to succeed. Okay, so I'm going to rephrase the last one is, I'm going to just rephrase this as, what do you think about my mission to give even the small stories their greatest due?
Vincent thinks that you're wasted doing all of these safe stories and is trying to counsel you to be a little more, be a little more interesting, be a little more, probably be a little more adventurous, or possibly at the very least write some stories about important things rather than stuff that nobody cares about.
Who cares about the 10th grade the 10th grade science fair? Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
I think that will be a hurt point on that because of she might think that you're right, she doesn't like to be reminded. Let's see.
We both have a personality.
You go first. One of them dislikes something about your behavior. One of them accepts you the way you are. The personality of one of them seems to be the exact opposite of yours.
Okay.
The book is reading our minds.
Yeah. You don't have to read your minds. I mean, conflict. You find conflict between characters only in certain situations.
I know.
I know. I'm more talking to the listeners, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to rephrase the last question as something more in the lines of at least Vincent understands that we are polar opposites in a lot of ways. Does your character appreciate that they want the best for them, or are they pushing to, or do you find, or does Indira find the nudges to, be a bit less staid annoying?
I think now we're getting into whether I have it as help or hurt, but I think we're both hitting the same question, so probably we'll just. I think that she would probably very at least secretly consider it appreciated, because, or even secretly from herself, because makes her life more than just bland emptiness when she's not working. So she's kind of all right with it, however much she'll grumble publicly.
Yeah. So you have a help and a hurt for me.
That's my assumption. Let's see. Basically the same thing without you. What do you think about her personality? Because that's what all three of these are variations of. What do you think about her personality?
Sorry, I'm only seeing one hurt on your character card. Have you... Oh, there it goes. It just came...
It doesn't update if I'm still on the... If I still have the cursor in the area, apparently it doesn't update.
So your character's giving Vincent comments about, relaxing, that
Take
sort of
it
thing.
easy. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Vincent probably finds that a bit annoying, understanding that it comes from a good place. So a help and a hurt.
Okay. So far we're even and even. The next one is, let's see, what's the next one? Possessions. We'll go ahead to possessions for you next.
Yep.
One of them admires what you have. One of them thinks they should be in possession of your things. When you acquired your possessions, one of them was involved.
I think a good question here would be, is Indira jealous of the shop or the things in it?
I don't think she is, and I don't really know what Mythos I'm going with is yet. I'll have to decide that. But I don't think she is jealous.
That sounds like a help.
Yeah. I think she finds it very interesting. I think she finds a lot of the antiques very dusty, and she's kind of more into modern stuff. But I think she likes it's a very nice and flavorful place. But yeah, she's not jealous. Okay. And goes to my routine. One of them is a regular part of your routine. That's a no. I live with you, so maybe. You think one of them is a penchant for mayhem or drama? Yeah. One of them views your routine as rather prosaic.
I kind of like the idea that Indira thinks that Vincent's more of a threat to them than Vincent does in return.
So you got 2 help and 1 hurt, and I got 2 hurt and 1 help?
Mm-hmm.
That does sound like a good balance, especially for somebody who's being pulled into the whole investigative thing. Almost kicking it through. Okay. So, do we want to call just the crew Vincent and Indira, or do we want to have it something flavorful?
Let's go.
Where the heart leads.
Why not? That works for both of us, I think.
I keep forgetting this font doesn't have capital letters. So identity is following the stories, following the drives of Vincent's whims. This is a very single character oriented crew. For those of you, anybody who's listening to this, might want to do it more overall when you're doing a typical game. So, Vincent, and then concept: Vincent seeks adventure and drags Indira along for the ride.
Yep.
Okay, so power tags, and I have to go find where the crew tree is and stuff. The crew theme book here is. And we have to. Crew mystery, crew theme. I don't. Three questions. So it could be any three questions. We don't have to do A. So, how do you help, assist, or support one another? This is on page 181, by the way.
Yep.
Where do you meet, work, rest, or prepare for action? That's the silver circle.
Pretty much.
We could put it as a crew tag, which lets you kind of tag into it twice over. 3 times over, 4 times over, actually, because you have a full theme to it.
I don't think it's necessary. We don't want to, double down or quadruple down.
Right. The only thing Exceptional would do is it would give Indira access to it, but I don't think we really need that. What have you learned to do well together?
That's a good one. I also kind of like who is guiding, backing, or assisting your operation, because we could have a mysterious, some kind of mysterious agent that is tipping us off to stuff.
Okay. So, what do we want for? Do we want there to be some sort of artifact or something that, or dreams that you have the dreams? That goes to your dreams, but this could be a positive. Your dreams are a negative, are only a weakness right now. We could mention them here as where leads come from. That way, it could be something we could use it as a positive as well. Because we've run across that before with weaknesses where there's no current mechanic for doing a weakness as a benefit, except for if you also have a power tag that refers to it.
This is true. I like that. Yes.
Okay. So, prophetic or Vizier's dreams, or Vizier's an advisor. Oracle's dreams.
Yeah, sounds good.
We have no idea where they're coming from right now. How do you get around?
Remember, it's the D question.
Okay, thank you. want to cover transportation?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Multi-pass.
Multi-pass.
Oh dear. No, let's not do that.
I'm kind of thinking of something like my little Japanese car over here. It's just so amusing to imagine one of those tiny little nothing engines involved in a car chase. And you know what's going to happen when we make it into a thing.
Oh yes. I mean, I kind of want a throwback to the Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah,
It's not particularly, great or fast necessarily, but it's bulletproof. You can't squash it.
so an actual refurbished Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah, let's not actually call it a Volkswagen Bug because the city is the city, Old Town is Old Town. The corporation is the corporation.
Oh, okay, right. So the old, I think we can refer to a beetle or a bug. People will know what they are.
I like the Beetle.
Okay. So a classic beetle.
Yeah.
Okay. What color do we want it? White? Red? Blue?
Black Beetle would have added alliterative appeal. The Blue Beetle, also.
Which would become a Dresden Files reference, just.
Oh, good point.
Though the Blue Beetle in Dresden wasn't actually blue.
Yeah, I forgot that was a thing in Dresden.
I think it had a blue door. Its original color was blue, and then they kept replacing parts.
I recall.
Yeah. Okay.
So literally the Blue Beetle.
Okay, classic Blue Beetle. I like blue. Blue's a nice color for a car. What special sources of information do you have? Mountains of occult text, thanks to someone, but I don't think you already cover that.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I already cover we both cover information fairly well, because I have a reporter and you have the occult stuff.
Yeah, later on when personality changes happen, my character will probably be a lot more social.
So how do you help, assist, or support one another? And we're such complementary personalities. We kind of support each other's weak points.
We could do what approach or tactic do you share in tackling challenges? There is a thing that showed up in. Have you seen Bad Boys?
Yes, I have. Long time ago, but yes, I have.
Okay, there is a recurring bit that they do where they get into an extreme situation, like the shopkeeper behind the counter pulls a gun and starts, talking crazy talk because he thinks they're about to rob the place.
Right.
They do this several times where they then start arguing between each other, which disarms the person that they're, ignoring. to the point where they can actually do something about it. Like, the person gets distracted and then they take control of the situation.
Oh, wow. So distracting arguments?
Yeah.
Special tactic. That is...
Weakness tags. This will be fun.
Okay.
What is flawed or lacking in the way you operate together? How do you get each other into trouble? Who or what are you all afraid of? What places or situations do you find tough to handle?
B's kind of hard to, because B's kind of hard to, conflicting personality would be B, because it would be hard to do specifics because we do it in two different ways.
Yeah.
A for us is about the same as B now.
I like conflicting personalities.
Yeah, because at C we're not both afraid of the same thing. D we're what places, situations you find tough to handle. That would be different for both of us. The fact that we're such opposing personalities means the last two are going to be hard to find a thing that would be the entire crew over.
Basically, the crew thing weakness is going to be pinged every time we attempt to do a teamwork roll.
Indeed.
Which is good, because that will come up a lot.
Okay. Now, Allie's listening, or a friend of ours is anyway.
Oh, she was. She's had to go to work.
Aw, because I got using her plot card that I got from her as a gift.
Oh, we'll have to let her know, because she'll be really pleased with that.
Yeah. So I drew 4 hooks. I'm going to ask you to choose one for me to come up with a build around, and I'll start building a mystery on it.
Sweet.
An old fling's father. I'm going to start typing these up on the grid. Well, it looks like a grid. It came from the sea. And something made me laugh because of something you said earlier. Something in the sewers.
Oh dear.
Just a moment. That last one wasn't aligning exactly right because the way the first two aligned, I had to get that one to align sort of in the same step pattern. And food fight.
I've got to give it to It Came from the Sea.
Okay.
It's a close contest with an old fling's father, but
I'm not going to use this entirely. and I'm not going to say what's on it in case I use any bit of it. But I'll be coming up with a mystery based off that, and I'll come up with and I'll be dealing with that a little later. So that is character creation.
Awesome. That worked out really well. I actually had no idea where I was going to go with it, but I have to admit I was fixated on the Mythos a little too much.
Yep. I'm probably going to get some ideas for Mythos later for my character so I can know what sort of things to start putting in.
Me too.
But I'll deal with that later. On to scheduling thing. Like, the inspiring thing is 15 minutes apiece. I don't know that either of us would be happy with 15 minutes apiece. Do you want to do like 30 minutes? If we try it, that'd be like one scene, and then we can pick it up another 30 minutes later on.
Sure.
It lets us kind of pick up and drop it whenever it's like, just the two of us around.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay. So that's this. I'm going to be calling this evening Walks, as you can tell by the game name. Okay.
Reference to a previous game?
No, I don't think it's reference to a previous game. I just was trying to think of something that is kind of referencing the idea of these are short little jaunts out into the thing. Anyway, for anybody who happens to be listening to this later, whenever I end up putting it out, and I might try to find some public domain classical music to set it to. See if I can get it added in without overpowering the dialogue. And get it. And right now, stop recording and see where this goes.